Right now we have amazing image AI, video AI, and agents like Claude Code and Codex. And it's pretty cool, but it's still so difficult to organize your creative workflow. These agents are designed as chat, but for creative workflow, you usually need to see that stuff. That should be Canvas or something, but we also want it to be as smart as Claude Code, running scripts and stuff. I spent my whole time testing different tools, and I finally found something worthy. We do have a desktop app with an agent based on Codex that work in your local folder. We do have really nice Canvas, image editing functionality, and even video editing functionality all in one place. And the craziest part, it actually worked smooth. I'm talking about new Minimax Hub, which just released. I already got my hands on, tested it, and it's really worthy. It goes both for Windows and Mac OS. So let's install it and let me show you why I'm so excited. We're gonna do some tests. So desktop app, it looks very simple and neat, and I actually like that. I mean, nothing is distracting, clean canvas. Let's get started. So quick overview. We do have chat. We can drop images, of course. For the models, we do have image model. We can choose which model families we want to stick with. Same for video model and audio model. And right away, one important thing, right now, Minimax Hub is the cheapest way to access Seedance. And here's the numbers. If we go to check subscription, on the cheapest plan, 1 second of Seedance 2 will cost us 0.15 cents. And if you go wild, if you are into this video editing really seriously, you can go as low as 11 cents per second. So is it expensive or no? That's insanely cheap, because here's the comparison with Full AI, for example, where we can see the access by API. And here, every second, it will cost you at least twice higher as this price. But they say it's for limited time, so I don't know for how long, but if you are into this, this is definitely the cheapest option I ever seen. Also, here we have access to audio. Also, Minimax has their own speech and music models, and you have access to them, the latest ones here. And I was surprised how good the result is. Gonna show you very soon. And of course, there are skills. There's not much pre-installed, but most importantly, we do have skill creator and skill reviewer. That's very important because you usually bring your workflows here and automate it. Like, for example, my character creator skill, I can just bring it here and do the characters. But if you go to skill and plugins, it's just launched. I believe there will be way more skills soon available. So let's start simple. Let's create new project. And how about we just try to create a master prompt of me, right? Let's start with very simple text. So I explain you the basics. So as I said, this is a really smart agent based on Codex, and orchestration here works surprisingly nice. So first of all, I ask it like to create a master reference, and you can see it asked me like some reasonable additional questions, which actually makes sense. Also, here's the thing, it creating .md files and bring them right away to the canvas. I mean, I was thinking about it like recently that yes, the MD is making sense because like we always work with some text information. If they're all just in chat, it's very hard to go back and forward. Here, they put it on the canvas, and which makes perfect sense, and generate the image. And you basically just iterate like that. You can click on any image added to chat. You can add that .md file also to the chat, or you can click on the image and say that I want to change something here by the options. And these options are actually very nice. So there is redraw, so you can basically paint on top and say like just recreate this part, etc. You can add annotations, outpaint erase, HD, and background removal. Everything quite usable, and I guess specifically for me, they added this color adjust, which is actually extremely useful when you work with a bunch of assets. For example, you want to make sure the color scheme actually match, and I mean, even simple hue might be very useful. Again, if you are from creative space, you know, you can feel my pain. So from my side, for this menu, additional like, and later we're gonna even see the video editor inside here. Both of these tools are not replacement, but at least I don't need to go to Photoshop to do simple hue operation. So here's how I created like few master prompts. We're gonna need them for future tests, right? I mean, I always recommend you to create characters as character sheets to later use them. Now, let me show you one really juicy case. So we do have a PDF brief about the burger, and this brief is gold because it already explains what we need to do. And let's drop that PDF brief and say that we're gonna need to create a 30-second video. And here we can immediately see that this agent can create scripts, Python JavaScripts, etc., and run them. So in my case, it just created a script to export text, and then it created txt file. It also can create it in .md file, and then like when it actually know what's inside, it asked me like what we're gonna do next. We're gonna do storyboard first, and here you can see the results. We do have the storyboard. Then also agent requested the logo from the client. It was not in the brief, so we're gonna attach it here. Based on logo, agent went back and rewrites the storyboard. Then it created one final reference with the logos and the burger, which look amazing. And since I'm not in the mood of waiting and answering too much question, I just asked it like, okay, let's create whatever you're gonna create for me, 15 seconds video. It also created music, created 2 videos, and suggested that it can assemble them. As I said, it has all the scripts and can do the editing. Look, it can edit, merge some stuff together. It's really a complete agent. And take a look at this result. You saw the whole process of prompting, and it looks just amazing. And by the way, you might be guessing why I said there's a codex, not Claude Code inside. Well, this is actually simple. Codex in all ChatGPT models, they have better vision than Claude Code. That's like a known issue. Well, Fable 5 is a bit better than Codex, but it's not available right now. And since I really like the result for the burger, I decided to create a skill to do exactly the same process. Here you can see my prompt. So it will create me a pack, right? It will create a short script, 2 videos, caption and stuff. So we're gonna use a skill creator for that, give it some time, and now we can actually try our skill. So we're gonna add this skill. Then let's again attach the same PDF. Right now it will be a premium burger. Okay, and after a while it created me a bunch of stuff. First of all, it created me 2 preview to select, and it generated me a few voice in chat. Here you can see, and I can select which English voiceover I want to use for my video. Again, Minimax speech can generate voices and music and merge them all together in one video. I mean, I never used it unless I actually tested it here, because here it actually easy. Because normally I was using 11 Labs and I was lazy to go there. And take a look on the final result.
With heat, a better cut, a softer bun, a sauce made to linger. This is your better burger moment. Premium burger brand. Order now.
Not gonna lie, I felt really hungry after watching that final video. Next up, of course, agent helps to create storyboard for longer videos, right? It's a World Cup, that's why I created this character. We're gonna need to create the same character as an adult, and I'm gonna ask agent to create a storyboard, the frames, etc., so we can go over. You can of course create it all at once. Here is my try. I basically just ask like, create the whole 15-second video right away, and I explained what I expect on second 3, second 5, etc., etc. But in my opinion, it's extremely random. You do not really control what's going on there. So instead, I created mood boards, frames, etc. with help with the agent. You can see the whole process. It's really easy to work this way. And then when I got all the frames, I actually started to generate final videos, and we can actually go in editor by the button on the top and bring any video from the side here and do the quick editing, cuts, etc., which is very, very convenient. And if you work with the CapCut, you can later also seamlessly export it to the CapCut with subtitles and stuff. I'm not using CapCut on the desktop, but I use that on my phone. Again, that's not a replacement for Adobe Premiere, but to do a simple operations like cuts, merge, voiceover, adding music, etc., all in one place, that really makes sense. Even if you're gonna do some iterations and stuff or simple video, that's amazing. And of course, since I'm in 3D, let me show you a little bit of my pipelines. I think right now, workflow where you use 3D Playblast and do some renders is absolutely insane. It's not 100% perfect. You might still need some iterations, but again, Seedance 2 work very well with provided Playblast. So usually my workflow to do some nice, cool renders is to get the Playblast, then generate render with a GPT image 2 or Nano Banana, whichever you prefer. Again, GPT see two very good with details. And yeah, let's say we have these amazing shots like the ring in the cave. I think like, I don't know, that's super cool. Imagine like setting up this in Blender. But from other sides, imagine explaining this exact camera view. I don't know how to do that with words. That's not my strongest side. I can move the camera. That's what I can do. So the combination is great. Then you can generate some videos and look at this. That's all possible. Of course, this is so smooth because of the 3D Playblast behind it, but all the rendering, all of that is AI. One more use case is with UGC products, of course. And here's the girl that I created the master prompt. So let's have some fun and create promotional video for a protein bar. So let's say this will be something absolutely generic and our character. Now we're gonna ask for 15-second UGC video. She take a bite of protein bar and then she's so excited that she's gonna do the backflip. Why not? And actually, let's see if she will be able to do the backflip. First of all, it created a storyboard and asked me some question like, what about the speech? We're gonna go try native speech because it's a UGC video. She sort of like needs to share her reaction, right? Okay. And first generation was a bit off because I was not thinking it will be the selfie. So I asked it to create it like the camera is on tripod because she will not be able to do the backflip if she's holding camera. Here's the final results. You might not know, but I actually go to gym and do backflips. And I must say this backflip is actually accurate. If you're still watching on this moment, you are a legend. And I'm gonna show you how this annoying Instagram AI videos are created. I'm definitely not going to post any of it. That was more for fun and to test the tool. So I create myself a master prompt and then tried to create this video where I'm sort of like doing some freelance job and then this asteroid and I'm like, ooh, what's happening? I'm gonna save the world. And you know, this suit animation, Seedance is particularly good with it. I don't know, it's probably something related to training data, but my whole point was to test the tool. So I generated a bunch of videos. I tested the editor and that actually makes sense. Like you can create multiple videos, which you usually do. You can select the best one, select the best frames. It's all organized in one place, right? When I was doing that before in Hicksville, so you're gonna go in Hicksville, download them, like always load the page. It's already here, everything. Like this all really makes sense to have it in one place. I definitely recommend it to try at least because the price for Seedance here is the lowest possible. And I'm definitely gonna keep looking how this tool evolved because it's ridiculous why no big company understand what creative community actually really need. Let me know in the comments if you like this one or you know better tool. That was Steph as usual. Like and subscribe and I see you in the next video.